Okay. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. So Z, are you ready?
I am ready.
KD, me.
Yeah.
Am I ready?
Are you ready?
Yes, I am. I'm ready. Are you guys listening and watching? Are you guys ready? Gals, people who don't identify as a person. Are y'all ready?
GNCs. We know who you are.
GNCs?
Yeah.
Isn't that a store that sells workout stuff?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But
I was like, where are you going with this? But yes,
but
yes, it is.
but they're called GNC.
GNC, gender non-conforming. Mm-hmm.
But it has nothing to do with pre-workouts.
Mm-mm.
You know that company went bankrupt. I think they did. But anyways, but anyways, um, in a world where, um, in a world where, if you were in those rooms from 2002 to now, aren't you an accomplice at this point? This is the vent. I'm one of your hosts, Del Najero. I got my other co-host.
I had to drink that one.
Yeah,
That one was good. That one was good.
That's I got the nerd Z here enjoying a healthy glass of chubby.
Yes.
If you guys, gals, and GNCs, I'm aware. If you remember chubby growing up, it used to be like extremely popular back in the day.
So what's?
What he was drinking on was a champagne version.
Yes.
I'm not really a fan of that. I'm more like a cola, and there was a green one. That's it.
What was the green one? I don't know what the flavors for the green one was, but.
And there's a blue one too.
And a red.
And a red, yes. Yeah. Those ones. Champagne.
And they had a clear one.
Now, the clear one was crazy.
That one was
The clear one was crazy. Yeah.
That one was, if you could get that one, that's like freezies. No one wants the pink and the blue.
Whoa, time. I know you shouldn't do this. I know you didn't do this.
No one wants the pink or the blue one.
The blue one, okay. You either take, when you go into the freezer, right?
Yeah, man.
For those watching, listening. Which freezy color are you grabbing first?
Oh.
Give me your top 1, 2, and 3. Red first for me.
Okay.
If I can't get red, purple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
if I can't get purple, blue.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Blue
Clear.
is your top 3.
Yeah.
I would say white, purple, red.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Why hate on blue? I don't.
Not a lot of people eat blue.
Or
orange.
Nah, orange. Yeah.
Orange. Yeah.
Orange is nah.
So maybe I take that back. Blue would still be in the top 3 for ones not taken.
Yeah, because orange, no one who touches orange like that.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But
I mean, orange is nice.
It's just white, red, and blue. No France, no America, no other
countries with those colors.
No Haiti.
Yeah, they are.
There's a lot. Yeah. No, those rings that you see in the Olympic thing that represents the colors of every country. That's some good facts.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight, you brought up a good one of the many good topics of discussion. That is.
There's so many. Which one do you want to start at?
I mean,
we could get a little. Okay, let's start with the little local things.
Okay, right.
And then we can get bigger. We can leave the best for last.
Okay. Right.
One of the local things would be that gentleman who made tiny homes on wheels.
Okay, cool.
So that has been happening. I love his.
Let me Google this.
Yeah.
Tiny homes on wheels. Make sure
on wheels.
Make sure you Google this, everyone.
Now, mind you, the internet was going crazy about it. Part of it being definitely for it, definitely, in support of what his endeavor is and all the things that he's doing for the community. And then the other side of the internet was a little upset.
But why would they be upset?
Because some people mentioned a previous gentleman who was creating housing for the homeless and are kind of up in arms at the fact that this guy is pushing forward and getting accepted. especially in legislation, while this gentleman who actually had stationary homes is not. It was very interesting. Very interesting.
I think we had an episode we covered that a little. Yeah, no, we did.
But the thing is, the gentleman who had the stationary ones, he purchased the actual like materials himself and made these homes like from hand,
Right,
like scratch. This gentleman, I don't know as to like where or how he's setting it up. He said that he's been building them. I'm not too sure how he's building them, if he actually is. But he's attaching them to bikes. And one of the biggest things that they were saying that the issue was that the houses that were stationary were kind of like against because they're stationed. You need to have like an address kind of thing.
Okay.
But because this guy now has like it's attached, it's a mobile like object.
You don't really.
You don't need an
You don't
address.
even need address.
And you can park anywhere.
You
Especially
get
Walmart, right? Trailer homes are definitely a normal thing to do. I mean, that's what it is. A home on wheels is a trailer.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know what the park.
Parking at Walmart?
I don't know if you're part of the park anywhere. I remember a situation one time, like someone parked their trailer there for like a good like month and something.
Oh, a month? Obviously not.
No,
What?
no, but you see, the thing is like, it would have been longer too. But the problem is like, the person like would let their dog out on no leash and be running around the parking lot. People were going like, hey, what are you?
Yeah.
So obviously like reports, and many reports came in and find it like, yo, you gotta like move your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. But I mean, I wasn't even expecting a month.
No,
I was expecting
people,
like a day, then you maybe go somewhere else, another day. Like,
no, so if they're like, yo, I'm not getting no ticket or nothing, I'm just gonna
park
stay
out
here.
here. Wow.
There's a thing I read somewhere in downtown. There's some weird loophole that they park their mobile there.
Yeah.
And it can't get ticketed.
Okay. Because of where it's
Yeah.
parked. Interesting.
It's some weird loophole, but
Interesting.
you ever find that when people want to mess things up, they really know the law. They know they know like.
See, but that's the thing. You got to know the law in order for you to break and or bend it.
They know like, oh, I can do up to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can just do this, and like, oh my gosh, you guys are annoying as fuck. But petty too. Oh my
Not
goodness.
petty.
Oh my goodness. So now, what's the current price on them? I wonder. Like,
I think he's giving them for free, but I don't know
for free.
Yeah, I don't know what his criteria is in order for you to be able to attain one. That's the other thing. I know for sure it's the whole purpose of it is to house, and it's in support of like homelessness to reduce it as much as possible.
Right.
But I'm not too sure like what qualifies, like who actually gets one, and I mean, part of it is, I guess, attractive when you think of it in the sense that not only do you have wheels, but you have home, like you have a shelter, you know.
I don't know. I don't know why that was just hilarious to me. Like, you know what's attractive? The wheels and the house.
Yeah, like
it
you
moves.
know, like
If
you can
moves.
actually move. You can actually, you know, it's powered by man, i.e. yourself. But
It's powered by yourself, yeah.
But then, does he also? My question would be: does he also do upkeep? So if a wheel breaks, are they now expected to pay for it, or is he gonna like? Does he have a place where they can come back and be like, okay, my wheel is broken. Can you help me?
I think.
Can you assist?
I think once you sign something,
Right.
it'll be on you, kind of.
It's like all liability. Because then the last thing I would want to see is like abandoned bike trailers.
That'd be, well, yo.
That would be, I think, more wild.
You open the door and you're like, hey, yo, what are you?
Like it's unkept or
someone butt ass naked in there, just breakdancing, like, oh.
or just like a broken, like, just imagine the wheel is gone, the whole thing is like moved forward, and now this like on a slant.
Oh, like it's like
you know, like this is the stuff that I think about. Like I'm so concerned in that like regard. What do you do? What happens at that point?
Hey man,
Who has the answer to these questions? Who do we go to? Is that in the FAQ?
It's in the FAQ. That's crazy.
I just want to know.
No, hold on. What's stopping someone from like being like, yeah, can I take 10 of those?
Yeah.
And then charge rent on the
Right.
I didn't even say the whole thing. I shouldn't even say the whole hustle. But someone could be like, yeah, can I get 10 off you?
Yeah, how do you qualify? And I mean, you have to be someone who wants to actually ride a bike. So you can stay fit at the same time. That's great.
But wait, how heavy is this thing?
That's another question. I don't know.
Wait.
They are not like some nice little. No, this is a little piece of trailer. Like, I feel like you should attach this to a car in order for you to really move.
Okay, I'm gonna look up if everyone can follow along.
Yep.
Tiny homes on bicycle.
Yes.
Bicycle.
Yes. These are not motorized. These are human operated. They are powered by your feet. Yes.
That's sad and crazy, man.
Yes.
I don't know.
But again, if that was the loophole in order for them to be able to have them, then I feel like that's great. But again,
now, okay, so I don't know.
like, do you go to a bike repair shop for that too?
No, they'll probably tell you to get out of here still.
Right?
They'll be
Because
like,
you can't bring the back part.
You can't. You can't bring in the back part.
Like, so where do you go? Do you go to automobile?
You gotta go whoever builds that type of structure. Like, I don't know.
Like, what happens if it breaks down? Who do they go to?
Like, why does it?
And imagine having to shuttle from wherever you are with that broken bike. Where are you going? There's so many questions now. There's so many questions.
So wait.
Because what do you do?
So I know there's like.
Oh my gosh.
I'll show for the viewers at home. Like, there's obviously the bike version.
Yes.
That's a hot no for me. Now, there's the other one where it's just like a tiny home on like what looks like to be like car wheels.
Okay.
Or truck wheels. One of the two. Like this kind.
Even more work. Oh no, it's not that. It's not that.
Oh, it's not that style.
No. It's not that. It's way smaller than that.
It's way smaller than that?
Yeah, way smaller. Oh.
By the way, this could be, because of the hitch and everything, you can
attach that to a vehicle, yeah. I mean, definitely drop a picture of like what I'm talking about, the tiny home that I'm speaking out. But it's called search tiny homes.
Tiny homes.
Yes.
Two tinies.
Tiny homes, and that's who the individual
not from Escape, for those who are watching. Not that tiny.
That is what it is. Like, that is who I believe is producing it. And yeah, it's really like just a home.
No, that's I don't what?
And that's why I'm like, what happens? And then the thing is, if it breaks down, what do you do?
Square foot.
Yeah, what do you do when it breaks down? Like, and who do you go to? And how would they know? Because especially if this is helping somebody who's homeless, do all homeless people have phones? No.
You know what's crazy?
So
that's a growing trend. Actually, no, some of them actually do
have. Yeah, some of them do.
Which I don't know.
How is their bill being paid?
Yeah, that's one.
And what data are they using?
That's kind of.
How much is a basic line? A landline?
And a landline, yeah.
Listen, these are the questions that I have right now. Because imagine if this is somebody who doesn't. And again, this is why I said, like, who qualifies in getting one? Because the other gentleman, it was more like, if you're homeless and you want it, here, take it. Point blank period. It was very simple. But
this, you got to go through the hoops.
Like, are you ready to take on this responsibility? Like, what happens if you break down somewhere as you're en route somewhere?
That's like
a wheel or it gets hijacked while you park it up. Like,
getting hijacked is crazy.
Right? Like, and where are you parking? You're most likely going to park in a parking lot or a parking space because you can't put that thing on the side of the street.
Unless
the actual sidewalk.
Unless you know that technicality rule.
Right? And then on top of it, is there a lock? Is there a safety for your bike? Because then if you're parking on the sidewalk...
This is crazy.
Not the sidewalk. On the street side. What happens? Like, what do you do? There's so many questions. And this is where, again, is there an FAQ? Because these are my questions. I love the idea. I love the project. It sounds amazing. But then I'm like, the upkeep. What is the 10-year plan for this? for each bike per person.
I don't. Okay, to be fair, I don't think those. I don't think it's that long.
Like,
I don't even think this is that thought
I'm
out.
concerned.
10 years?
Yeah.
You're being really generous.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I feel like that's still one step closer to helping somebody get out of an impoverished situation. And I feel like maybe they would turn around and recover based on that, because then they have access to travel. And travel is also one of the biggest things that are difficult. But then I also kind of feel like you probably can travel on TTC much faster.
And a bit safer?
Yeah. And like, are you now integrated with main traffic?
That's, first of all, I wouldn't do that.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't really do that.
There's so many questions.
You can't obviously be on the sidewalk. Like,
yeah, like, what are the rules?
So
what are the
like,
law behind driving or riding? Because they're bike lanes, but you're not going to be in a bike lane. You're going to be a little too big for a bike lane. So that means you're going to be in front of me when I'm driving?
That'd be wild. You're turning an intersection and someone just hit your back half and your house is like...
With a house? Your house is gone.
If your house is gone,
That's crazy. I don't want that. This is wild.
It's kind of like, you know how you see those parents with the bicycle stroller thing?
Yes.
That's
with the front or the back.
Not for my child.
Yeah.
That's a not for me.
People who have it attached to the front, I'm like, yo, you guys are brave.
You think in the front? I think the back is bad. Because it's just it's the back. You have to constantly I don't know how.
Yeah, I would rather the cart behind me than in front of me. Because
I don't know. At least in front, I can be like.
Nah, because then the thing is, if anything happens, they get. Ooh, no, I can't.
But the back, you'd have to constantly like.
And if the kid rolls out, like, I'm very concerned. There's so many things. Yeah, yo.
That bicycle stroller thing. Every time I see those, I'm just like, yo, that's.
These are inventions that had really great intentions. My heart.
Yeah, that's. I don't know about that.
But, again, shout out to the guy who made little tiny homes, and such a great idea and such a good cause. And I think that one, I love it. I just want to know, like, what is the 10-year plan, especially what happens if somebody is in a situation where they stop or it's broken or whatever. What happens? Like, what's the follow-up for that? I would love to know. And if at any point, definitely add that to the comments and let us know, because I would love to like follow up and share those things with everybody.
I'd like to know as well. Like,
yeah
like kind of. Jeez, I don't know. Yo, I don't know about. I don't know about that.
Okay.
You gotta pull up to the forestry and then. Yeah, that's the only area you could really like.
Roam freely. The forestry. Trust me. Trust me.
Nah, man.
Okay, so the other thing that was local, I mean, it's not necessarily local, but it's a little bigger. I mean, it's bigger in the sense that it's attached to Crave.
Okay.
The Richards brothers.
Right.
Trey Richards and Trey Richards and Jay Richards.
Right.
Recently have a show coming, or have announced their show coming out on October 11th.
Okay.
Called The Movers, or The Moving Guys. Let me actually find out. On the official trailer for the series, The Office Movers. There we go.
Office Movers. Okay.
Office Movers, and it's gonna be streaming on Crave, October 11th. I love that for them.
That's what I'm saying. That from like from GTA, like
yeah,
they have come a long.
They have.
Well, they've come a long way. Like
they have.
Yo, the amount of work put in, like.
Yes, they have. They really have, and they are funny guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they are.
Like, listen to the story. Like they said, yo, it was either they were at a crossroads where it was like, yeah, continue school or doing this, and it's just, and they're just like, yo. The thing with like doing YouTube, I guess, or just media, just you doing your own like media, your own like broadcasting. Like, there's no like breaks like that. Like, you're doing 60 hours like minimum a week, right? And then because like if you're at a crossroad where you gotta choose school or you gotta stop doing it, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, it's one of those things, and it's like, I can imagine you have to go back to school if you ever want your degrees and stuff like that. That's the part.
Yeah. It was like that clip, it was like that clip that was in the chat. Some guy was talking about how people just give up because just life just gets in the way.
Like whatever it is that they want to
Yeah.
pursue. Yeah.
Right? So
I get it. I understand. I get it. It's like you were so good at something.
like, yeah, you're so good at something and you cannot,
You can't pursue it no more.
right?
Just because life, bills, finances.
That's crazy, man.
It's a sick world.
It really is a sick, sad world. Like, it's just.
But I mean, shout out to them. I mean, I think that's a big deal. I think that a lot of people don't recognize or give flowers to where a lot of the Canadian talent is.
Right.
And especially, let alone the notoriety of where certain platforms are actually expanding. Like, being on Crave is actually amazing.
Right.
Just doing any type of, like, work when it comes to film, music, and entertainment is freaking amazing. And the fact that they're doing something that they continuously have perfected over the years and made it, and it's something that is like their style.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing in the trailer, like, it looks like they were never taken out of or removed from the actual production or like the way the narration of style was taken.
Like, you can tell, like, if they're not already the head writers, like, they're definitely.
Yeah.
They definitely had say in, like.
Yes. In like the creative decision.
Creative decision.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh. And I love
You can
that.
tell.
I love that. Even the editing. Down to the editing.
Even to the editing, yeah.
It's
You can tell, like.
And I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing like how they've like their work has expanded and leveled into this arena. Because like some people you can see, like, you can tell some people it's like if you were on this platform, you will do fantastic.
Right.
It's like where you are right now is not where you're supposed to be. You need to be a little bit higher or further or wherever in order for you to get the flowers that you need to be granted, because so people can see
Right.
your actual skill, right? So
I think the next big one, like after, like alongside with Crave, if they get into Netflix, that's when it's like.
oh man, oh baby,
Yeah. If the Richards get into Netflix, that's gonna be.
that makes me like
That's a huge W.
imagine once upon a time YouTube used to be the inn. That used to be the place where you would get your break for shows.
That's so yeah.
Right? Issa Rae was one of those people.
Cause slow down, hold on. Cause the thing is, like, yeah, she had the Awkward Black Girl series.
Yeah, she did.
And then I think in one of the episodes she got Pharrell Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever the series ended, and then all of a sudden, bam, Insecure comes out, and you're like, yo, that's actually like.
Yep. How many seasons deep?
5 seasons deep.
Right?
Right?
So it's like
Who else broke from
the internet?
I know Spoken
Or at least got their starting.
Yeah, I know Spoken Reasons. He was doing like his comedy stuff on YouTube, and then he had a movie with Sandra Bullock, I think.
I know Shannon Boodram, and she was from Those Girls Are Wild.
Right.
So I know she ended up being one of the biggest, like, well-known sex educators.
Right.
She tapped in. She was on how many TV shows? She was on, I think, Kiki Palmer's show. I think she did segments on certain news places. She did Morning America, I think.
Right.
I know she did CTV. She did one of the.
I think she did Rogers. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did Rogers. She did like she's had so many appearances, and her break was on the internet, like on YouTube.
Right.
Those Girls Are Wild, and she was there with Andrea Lewis, and Andrea Lewis as well has also had her break from there as well, being an actor. Cannot tell you how many movies she's been in and like short films that she's been in, but she also has done so much, especially in the film industry. And it's like, I mean, YouTube was the in.
Like, yeah.
It was the in.
It's still.
And same with them, you know?
Not as much as it used to. Like, it dwindled down a little bit, but.
I think now YouTube's platform is no longer really focusing on entertainment as it used to be. Now it's more education.
Yo, it's more. You think it's more educated now?
Yes, more education.
I think it's. I think it's more,
Education and propaganda.
I think it's more rapid. Not rapid. It's okay. Yeah, like propaganda.
Yeah.
It's ratchet. It seems. Yo, is it more ratchet now than before?
Than it used to be. Yo, see now when you
That's
start
the part.
when you start seeing ratchet or levels of like ratchetness, the first thing and only thing I could ever think of to ever be that measure would be World Star Hip Hop. I'm sorry, that is the level.
And that was before. See, like, okay, I'm glad we're talking about this because people don't realize like. Before the YouTube pop, if you were popping on World Star,
yeah,
that was another way.
Big.
And the thing with like the Richards, like they were doing it so long, they would upload on World Star first, like along with Dormtainment, Smoking Reasons.
Oh, those guys, Dormtainment.
Don't Jealous Me. I should know his name. He's a Nigerian guy, UK comedian.
Okay.
Like they did the World Star first, and then YouTube was slowly coming. So like, okay, we'll upload it on World Star and YouTube as well. And then obviously YouTube took over, and then the rest is history, right?
I love Dormtainment. Those were my guys growing up.
That's the thing. A lot of people. It's crazy. A lot of people now they don't know about Dormtainment.
Like how can you not know all their albums? Yo, their songs are fire.
And the songs are like
with the music videos, fire.
Like it's a very talented group.
Yo, I'm very happy to know that they were in my hemisphere of entertainment because they ended up on College Humor. And College Humor is a big comedian platform, especially on YouTube, right? So, yeah. They would be like the SNL of YouTube.
Don't tell me the SNL of YouTube.
Yeah, because a lot of SNL got their people from College Humor. Like, what's his name? Who did Dick in a Box with Justin Timberlake? I swear he was from College Humor.
And and he kind of went to he went to SNL, yeah. I was remembering too, like, I remember Dormtainment had their like Comedy Central, like I think a web series, right?
Yes. Oh man.
And then when Issa Rae popped off, they were in the first season.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the thing with Issa too, like. If she's like, okay, if you worked with me before, okay, once I get this thing, you're in, like,
and that's how it should be.
That's how, like,
that's how it should be. I should be like, oh, familiar faces, what? Oh, like, and because I know it works here, so seeing you here, it's like, yo, that's the thing, yo, gems, what? Yes. So I'm very happy, and plus they are comedians, they are hilarious people, especially because I think if anything. Before it became a whole thing, I feel like they are the creators of the Toronto Mandem slang. Or if they've perfected it so much.
They perfected it.
That they knew how to market that and they knew how to make it like pop. Because, boy, when I tell you, no.
You know, like friends and family in the States too. Like their most popular video is the whole Jamaicans don't have this.
Have that?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yo, that
like
people
so like really
so crazy.
People quote that skit to like.
And you know, unfortunately, every joke has like 10% truth.
It's sadly it's sadly right.
So the fact that when they said they didn't have it, it's like this reminds me of that moment when I was at Places Will Not Be Said.
Places Will Not Be Said. Wow, yeah, that's funny.
That's that.
But
yeah, no, shout out to you guys.
That's a big up.
Yes.
A big W.
Yes. Right. And it looks good on the city. Because, you know, I'm tired of people saying that we do not have talent here.
That campaign needs to stop.
Like, I'm just tired.
You're just
tired of people turning around and saying how in order for them to get a break or catch a break or we don't support or whatever the case is, that they have to go somewhere else in order for that to happen. Excuse me. Excuse me. We have talent here. Thank you. And we recognize our talent. Thank you.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
as we speak about talent, there's one definite.
Speak about that. Yeah, segue. Okay, I'm trying to figure. Oh, who's gonna segue to? Oh, no. Oh, what's it gonna segue to?
Yeah, it's like as we speak about people with talent, we've noticed that somebody's trying to get their lick back. No, I'm joking.
Whoa.
Not their lick back, but they're trying to get their arenas back.
Okay.
I.e. Rogers, who buys out Bell's MLSE share for $4.7 billion.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I personally am not too informed about it, but I mean...
Preparing for FIFA. Wait,
MLSE. So MLSE is... let me actually pull that information up.
I think that's for preparation for FIFA.
Oh.
Which is coming here 2026.
I see.
2026, yeah. And apparently Drake is performing it, so his spot's already
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, okay, so... Who was I saying? So they have bought... Rogers has bought the shares of Bell. So MLSE is the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. So this is one of the world's...
Oh, it doesn't have nothing to do with FIFA. It has to do with the losing lease. Anyways, we can
one of the world's premier sports and entertainment companies. And it owns Toronto Maple Leaf. So the NHL, they own the Raptors. They own...
Damn, Maple Leafs don't have a championship?
What's happening?
1970s.
I think FC is football.
Someone's lived and died in the CS championship. That's crazy.
The Toronto Argonauts.
Oh.
Yes, which is football. Toronto Marlies. I think that's hockey. Raptors and 905.
Okay.
Which is the... What is that? The D? Or the... Oh, yes, the 905. They actually play... I feel like that's a training league for Raptors, no?
905.
Or are they just different altogether? Okay. So 905... yes, it's the NBA G League. I said corrected. It's not the D, the G.
The G League, okay.
They do TFC. I'm not too sure what TFC stands for. Next Pro. And then the Raptors Uprising Gaming Club. So they own a lot of, like, Toronto's, really Canada's, national sports. Right? This is the MLSE, Maple Leaf and Entertainment. Sports and entertainment, sorry. So Rogers has now bought some of Bell's shares. And I mean, Rogers once upon a time was the Rogers Center, as well as, what was the Rogers Center considered called before?
The Sky Dome.
Sky Dome.
The only name,
right,
that me and dozens upon dozens of people recognize.
So
the Sky Dome.
My question is, will we notice the effects of Rogers owning this amount of shares? That is the biggest question. Personally, Rogers used to be once upon a time on channel 10.
If the cable channel 10, yeah.
And I knew Rogers for highlighting and following all the college sports.
Yeah, no, for like college, middle school,
so
Pee-wee. Would you have Pee-wee? They call it something else.
Yeah,
but
juniors,
yeah.
They did the leagues. They did all the college sport. So I mean, for them to buy these shares from Bell, to me, I just feel like they're on brand because they already had an identity doing that so far. So it's like, what's the problem?
Hold on, I should have known this, but. So Toronto FC is
football?
I mean
football?
Technically
football.
Technically you said the right word. Like foot and ball.
Oh, so like
but
soccer?
Soccer, yes.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I was like, what's happening? Yes. Okay, so football.
MLS Major League Soccer.
But yeah, so like, I mean, I feel like it's great that they're actually going back to their roots. Does that make sense? You know, because once upon a time, and I personally I wish we had those back again, where Rogers actually had college sports going on. Because it was a big thing.
I don't even know what,
It was a
Still,
big
I
thing.
wonder if it's still airing like that.
And you could see who was like definitely going to be working their way up to being
Right,
in
yeah.
the next league, you know? Like you
Like I
could watch that.
like I watched, yeah, the
Yeah,
progress.
like so seeing that escalation and seeing how people are like, like flogging to like see who's the next and up and coming, who's gonna get listed or not, who's gonna get drafted, like that anticipation. That's what Rogers did. They did that for you. So to me, it's just like it just seems like the best move, the right move to be more hands in and hands on, especially for sports. Now,
Like I said, FIFA's coming up, so
this is true. So they may have, and I feel like that's probably the reason why, because Bell is like, what is really Bell good? No, sorry. I need to choose my words correctly.
no. Well, Bell's more like
They're
talk
good for
shows,
marketing. Yeah, like
red
marketing.
carpet events.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
entertainment,
more entertainment.
media, but not necessarily sports. I feel like that's not their genre.
Yeah, that's more of a Rogers thing.
Yeah, like, and I feel like why don't we let the media houses be strong at what they're good at? I understand
And
it's business, but hey, man, I want to see what the right people have. Okay? All right.
right.
They know best.
It's a power move. Like I said,
It is.
it's a
And
very.
it just kind of says maybe also, Rogers is actually good at hosting games.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to.
Because, I mean, I've gone to, no, but that's Scotia Arena. Is Scotia Arena owned by Bell?
I
Scotiabank Arena?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, well, whoever owns which. All I know is I think the Rogers Center,
Cool.
or the previously known as Rogers Center Sky Dome, the seats when you're watching a baseball game, amazing. Scotiabank Arena, too tight. No
It's
space.
it's too tight.
Not at all. Man,
Damn.
I was so uncomfortable. I was like, what is this? Ugh. Yeah, man. So, I'm just saying. I think they know
They both
what
own
to.
it.
Oh, both of them?
Scotia Bank Arena.
Dang.
Hmm.
Dang.
But as I'm talking about this, like, or googling it, it's all like the MLSE, MLSE,
Yeah,
MLS.
MLSE is the one who is actually responsible for it all. Yeah. Yep. I have a few friends who worked with them. They seem like amazing people. As a company, they seem like a really great company to work for. Yeah, and they're actually really cool. Yeah, they offer a lot of opportunities. A lot. So if you ever want to get hired, that's the place to get hired for sure. Because when the seasons are in, ooh, baby, expect work. Yes,
Oh, expect work.
expect work. Yeah, for sure.
Hey man,
Yeah.
these days, like, it maybe some sad advice, but like right now you gotta take anything that comes offered. Not anything,
I
but
mean,
like
at least align it with your passion.
at least, yeah, as
Please.
best as you can. But
Yes.
but they're just saying these days
Yeah.
is like
Like if
it's
you like sports, I would say work there because it's a great sport environment.
right.
So that's what I would say.
But
But yes. Oh, all right. So it's local. It's all local, but this has been creating some controversy. So much controversy, so that I've had a conversation with a recent artist, and oh my gosh, they may end up on the podcast. That is how intense
that's how intense it
the
was.
conversation was. So intense. I didn't think, what's so crazy? As much as we were talking about earlier about Canadians providing media and entertainment and shows and stuff like that and generating, and I mentioned that we actually give our flowers, right?
Right.
But then this happened, and it was like,
Which is still an odd choice for
of categories?
the categories, yeah. Like it was for those like there's puzzled and befuddled. It's the JUNOs. First of all, the decision was to like remove like
3 genres.
3 genres,
Yes.
right?
And those genres were, let me pull it up. They were Children's Album of the Year,
That's
Reggae Recording of the Year, and Contemporary Christian Gospel Album of the Year.
that's interesting.
So those 3 were the ones that were decided to be removed earlier this month.
Right. But then the latest is now.
Yes.
They're like, what is it? It's a reconsideration.
Yes, it was reconsidered. So essentially, they were removing it for the following year, 2025. However, so many people had responded.
Some people said, "Well, what the huh?"
Yeah, and that decision was reversed. So they're actually gonna keep it.
Right.
So yeah, there's just so much controversy because one of the biggest things, especially after one of the most recent public displays of beef that was happening between Drake and Kendrick.
Right.
Where the lines of not the lines in the songs, but like in the conversation circled around where people were saying that Canada doesn't have a sound.
Right.
And Canada doesn't create great music. But then you have stuff like this where it's like whole genres in our whole space don't even get recognized.
Right.
So is it that we don't have a voice, or are the platforms that are there to actually give them a voice are shushing them?
They don't know what they're doing, basically.
Yeah. So that's another thing. So it's like maybe
like what was their reasoning? Like it was like if they felt like it wasn't popular enough, or
so based on the actual Instagram, he said that Chorus underwent an extensive process reviewing CARAS. They went through like a whole thing reviewing the award categories and taking into consideration. So they're saying some of the data was consumption and then number of submissions. And then there was other metrics that they didn't list. But I do want to see what the metrics are as to like what qualifies for
the metric of I just made it up.
They just oh my gosh, professionals.
Jeez.
But yeah, but I mean, there's a lot. That's the thing, and so this is where part of the argument comes in, right? So, someone I know was like, who I had one of the artists that I was speaking to had such a big upset about it because they said one of the biggest influences to Canadian music has been reggae and dancehall.
Which is, yeah.
Right? When you think about Drake and some of the beats that he has, One Dance, how many collaborations he's had with actual reggae
like
artists.
Controller, yeah, that's...
Right? The sounds and the influences of those things, those are all Jamaican and dancehall related.
Right.
Influenced. And then some of the things as even festivals. We have Irie Fest. We have, what's the other one? It's the... Jeez.
Not the... You're talking about the thing about the Eglinton one?
There's the Eglinton Festival as well. There is Irie Fest. There is another festival that is like predominantly for the culture of reggae and dancehall. I know there's events that happen. Shoot. So like there are things and there are people who attend these.
It's not
things.
Jerkfest.
No, it's not Jerkfest.
And for those that are listening, it's not that. No.
Excuse me.
Jerk is a seasoning. Oh man, that even okay. Anyways, that didn't really okay.
But like, yeah. That's to say, like, the culture is definitely here. So that kind of made me think, like, what?
People that don't know what they're doing.
What?
It's like an American Music Award. It was like the Grammys or VMAs, one of the two. And then there was one year like there weren't any women nominated, and then the response was like, well, women just have to. I'm paraphrasing. But one of the deciders, I guess, was like, oh, well, women, they're not in it because they need to step it up and da-da-da. And then you watch the next following year, all of a sudden it was just like...
Bare women, right?
Jeez.
See, and that's the thing.
Some people get on that board and they lose their goddamn mind. They just lose their mind, yo.
See, like, if it does come down to numbers, like... As a number game, that's a hard place to sit. It's a hard field to argue about. Because
if numbers?
Yeah, if it's based just on your numbers, I mean, are you pulling the numbers?
But
You know, there are people who have like whole like repeat shuffle on a paid subscription on loop running in the background.
oh, you're calling out the bot farms.
Like,
I mean, bot farming is a thing, but
and they're doing that so they can get their views up. And I'm just saying, like, how are we actually measuring these things in order for them to be qualified, right?
but see, you said, or no, not you said, but like they mentioned the other metrics are not listed, so I don't know what.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Like, huh?
it's definitely that's
The because I said so metric.
yeah. And even
Like,
if it's like consumption, what do they mean by consumption?
Yeah, like I don't.
Is this like based on like actual viewer interaction? Is this based on the number of ads that they're attached to? Is it based on like what is?
You know, when I go to the grocery store, if I don't hear your song, they're not consuming it.
Yeah,
It's
like
come
you
on,
know,
like-
is it not in a grocery like? Yeah, as you said, grocery store or the radio.
Coffee shop.
You know, like if no one's trying to put you on a playlist, do you not qualify now?
If that's a wild, that's a wild scenario. So if you don't get recommend, so basically there's no word of mouth on
Yeah,
the street. They're just like,
nah.
they give you the bye-bye. Just
Yeah.
like nah.
And then how would you know? Are you like walking into every second cup,
It's like, or Starbucks.
like, and sitting there and just being like,
What are they playing? You pull out the, what's that app? Shazam? You pull the Shazam out. You're just like, what is that?
is this a Canadian artist? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just like, first of all, that sound just threw me off a bit. I don't know where, I just said, I don't know if that came from your phone or?
No.
Oh,
It's upstairs.
Ooh. But nah, but the whole, there's no category of dancehall though.
No, there's no dance hall category.
It's
from
just
what I
reggae
understand.
only.
Reggae only. The children's album of the year, which is actually kind of interesting.
That's a very, I've
Children's album. I'm like, why would you take that out, especially if you're gonna have songs, or just like musicians don't make albums anymore for children? Is it just Kid Bop and that was the end of it? Our generation,
is wow.
right?
It can't just be kid. But then I wonder if
Does the Magic School Bus count? Like,
I don't know about that. I was thinking more Disney, cause
but that's not Canadian.
I mean
You gotta pick someone who's Canadian.
that's a very
Album-wise.
weird, specifically the Canadian artists that does children albums.
Canadian children artists. You gotta figure out who those people are. And then see if they actually had an album. Or are they just making singles?
Yeah, like wouldn't you make a
Right?
whole album's crazy? I don't know.
Right?
Singles make sense though, but like.
But then it
a
also kind of
whole-
makes me think, do we have Canadian television shows that are for children?
I mean, yeah, we do. Yeah,
And do they not have soundtracks?
they are supposed to.
And wouldn't that be put up for nomination?
It's okay. It sounds good on paper.
And like, I'm just
But-
trying to.
It sounds good on paper, but it's like I don't know if like I think there's a lot of reruns, but there's nothing like new coming out.
Like, I just
Maybe.
think of Arthur. Like, when Arthur had that whole episode of just tracks. Jekyll, Hyde, Jekyll. Reading books. What is it? Something fun isn't hard when you got a library card. Like,
It's you know,
come on. What was the other one? There's so many. Like, so many.
I don't know.
So that's why I'm, like, thinking, like
No, I think there's not a lot of like new shows.
like
that.
Canadian television shows
Yeah, no, there's not like especially like
for
like
kids.
centered on like youth and kids. Like no,
Are they just stuck on listening to Coco Melon? And, like
I'm pretty sure it's bare reruns.
but that's not fine. Because then that means how can you nominate for this year if it's a group?
If it's a rerun, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Mm.
and then
So we don't have enough.
yeah, there's not enough.
Mm.
Yeah, that has to be the only.
See, that starts to make sense about the consumption. Because then where are we seeing it? We're hearing it.
And the one that surprised me, God, see, they didn't say gospel; they said Christian gospel.
Yes, Christian.
You think that'd be like
Yes, contemporary Christian specifically.
Oh,
Contemporary Christian.
that's very. What's these?
What are these
Where are
categories?
these specific?
I know.
No, except for reggae. Reggae should be.
Yes.
And the fact they just said reggae, yeah, no, and it's just like, wait.
Contemporary Christian / gospel.
Meanwhile,
Album.
Meanwhile, you got like contemporary Christian gospel.
Yeah.
What? That's a box. And
Album.
Children's album.
Yeah. And then the reggae recording of the year. So that doesn't sound like an album. That sounds like a single.
What does that even mean? Reggae. Wait.
Reggae recording.
Reggae recording of the year. Like.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds like a single. So it sounds like there's not enough reggae singles being populated here. Which is wild. Because who isn't making reggae? Like, see, and it just makes me like think like, are we not listening to music?
No, like
like, do we not know who's actually popular here? Like, when you think of it, like, I grew up with not Outkast. Oh my gosh, Chaos.
Right.
Like, Chaos was the person I was listening to. Nelly Furtado was somebody else. Like, even
Cardinal
Official, Julie Black,
Socrates,
Sean Desmond,
yeah.
Keisha Shante. Like, we had artists.
We had a
like,
good...
this is who I grew up listening to. But I can't lie. It's been how many years since then? Since we've had people who were headliners like that. I could sit here and say.
Because after their phase, I mean...
Like who?
I swear there was like a little gap after that.
Yeah, and then there was...
Drake slid in, but then...
Yes.
Drake was more American... Okay.
I mean, Drake has always been Canadian to me in my eyes.
Right.
But he just had American viewership. More so than anything.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Tory Lanez.
Which is in like this...
Say It was a part that did it for me. And
then The Weeknd. I mean, I guess that's the next phase.
The Weeknd.
Drake, Tory, Weeknd.
But that's all guys. Who else?
Wow, you just said something, wow.
And then who's the band who did Why You Gotta Be So Rude?
Oh,
them.
Is it Magic?
I think so.
Yeah.
They too. Then there's another group.
But you just said it. There's no women so far still.
There's only one woman that I could think of. I think her name is Kaya. She has like orange hair. She's the only other person I could think of.
I don't even...
She played on the radio a lot.
Kaya.
A lot. And her songs are all dance tracks. Like pop dance.
Kaya.
For sure.
Kaya. Like, okay, that sounds familiar, but I don't... Kaya, hold on.
Yeah. See, and I don't know the lyrics.
That's a crazy, like...
Unfortunately, I know how to hum it. That's it. I don't know the lyrics. Yeah, she's like orange hair. Starts with a K. I want to say it's Kaya, but it's probably not Kaya. You got me feeling.
I know that's, but...
Yeah. Is this Google?
That's great. There's not enough women in that...
Yeah, in the genre.
That pocket, like...
And then...
This current phase, I should say.
Right? And then who else can I think of? And again, I'm thinking of this is what was considered popular. This is popular. People who played on the radio, people who were getting their interviews, people who were probably getting tours, you know? Who's the other band? They started with a C. I think it was like Color Phonics or something like that. Like something Tronics. They were also another one. They had a lot of like great hits. But when I'm thinking of like country, anything other than pop, musical, was it
Musical house.
Not musical house.
That sounds fire though. Musical house.
Musical house would actually be fire. Like you're thinking of your Broadway musicals, with house. Yo, I don't know if they're ready. The reason why that probably would work so much is because there's house usually doesn't have lyrics.
That's the thing, yeah.
And so this would work.
Yo.
Tropical house is what I was referring to.
Oh, don't. Oh my gosh. Tropical house. That's a.
Ew. But I'm just saying, like, now that I'm really thinking about it, like, hip hop had their top. Hip hop stays reigning in Canada. I can't lie. Like, hip hop stays reigning in Canada. I feel like country does also reign in Canada.
Yeah, I can.
Alternative reigns in Canada. Who else? You know, Celine Dion never goes out of phase at all. At all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at all. And she's in 2 languages. She's in both of our national languages, French and English. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
Afrobeat started becoming big. And, you know, it's so crazy. I actually have met and do know a lot of the Afrobeat nominees.
Okay.
Yes. Borrelsome was one of them. Celia, she's another one. I don't know if the lady that we had interviewed, and she's actually on our Instagram right now, Zen Soul. I don't know if she got.
She's more. I think she's just straight up R&B.
She's R&B?
Yeah.
Okay, so then she's R&B. Tomei. I love me Tomei. That is my girl. Like, Tomei was also nominated as well. So, like, Afrobeats dominated in people that I could say I definitely know who they are.
Right.
I know who they are. I know what they're doing. I know, and I can see, yeah, the work that they are putting in for Afrobeats, they're putting it in. They're heavy in it, okay? Again, I know people like Dolo the Gifted. I know Mike the Truth. You know, those guys are also Afrobeats and rap. So, I know for sure they're putting in work. A Tribe Called Red, they were the Aboriginal music that I lived for.
Right.
You know, that was a group that I knew, like, there was no way I would skip a beat for, like, I wasn't skipping a beat for that.
Right.
So, you know.
I've been hearing that name growing up, like, I've been hearing that name. Like,
so it's like, you know, you have Aboriginal music, and I listen to that for sure. And so, like, now it's like, who is actually reigning in those domains? Like, and for real, like, now I'm really thinking about it. Who? You know, Omega Mighty is somebody who's coming in now in the scene, female hip hop. And is this the issue? Because we are not actually putting and promoting the people enough. Like, in the States, there's at least 5 different artists who people are aware of. In each arena.
So like each.
Yeah.
Each state.
Each genre of music, you could at least say 5.
Okay,
names.
okay. Like you can say
You know, if I said female hip hop.
Boom, you can rattle off
Nicki, Cardi, Big Lotto, Glorilla, Meg Thee Stallion.
Or Ice Spice. Yeah, you can just keep going. Money
right?
Long.
Yeah, for R&B. You have Money Long. What's her name? My girl, who I love her down. Oh my gosh.
Oh, see, now the fumbling starts because
right?
Because R&B's kind of
Ari Lennox. Girls need love too. Girls need love too. She's my girl. She was pregnant on stage. Had a whole breakdown. She's very appreciative. Love her down. Her name's not coming to me.
Victoria
right
Monet.
There's Victoria Monet. Oh, Victoria Monet. She's coming out, and she was the girl. She was the girl. Don't get me wrong. She was the girl.
I think she used to write for like a.
Right.
She used to write for like a lot of R&B acts too.
What's her name? The other one, Tori Kelly is another one that I listen to. Is that 5 already? I think that's 5.
See, R&B, I kind of
That one kind of had me, you know, maybe, but men, R&B for men, I don't think I can name 5. Bryson Tiller is the only person I can think of.
And even then,
for like today's music.
Like right now, yeah.
Yeah. As I said that, the next person who popped into my mind, and he's Canadian, is Daniel Caesar.
Right.
Right? Canadian male R&B. It's the only person I can think of.
That's the only that. Wow. That's
Yeah, for Canadians. And I don't know if Tory is kind of in that category or not.
Tory's like
He's like a beautiful blend.
Yeah, Tory's like a rap,
Yeah.
R&B, dancehall.
Right? But if you had to
80s,
categorize,
yeah.
what would he be? Is he an R&B singer or is he a hip hop artist?
They would simplify it as hip hop, but I wouldn't say reggae though.
Right? I wouldn't say reggae either.
Hmm.
Right? Where do you ranch him? And where
I say
does
pop
he?
R&B.
You know?
It depends like
what he's
the
actually.
song they selected. Yeah.
So that's the thing. And then, yeah, even rock. American rock or Canadian rock, whichever one you want.
American rock, I have no clue. That genre's been dead for like 15 years.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't really.
Ooh.
The only people that are like, there's obviously like the underground. That's always good. But I haven't checked underground in like a while.
Okay.
And then besides like the main acts of like Kiss and Foo Fighters and all that.
Right.
Like there's no new thing like that's big like that.
See, and then this is where I'm like
that crosses it where like we even hear about it.
Mm-hmm. Like
rock doesn't have that pull.
But when it comes to country now, Tennessee Whiskey, baby, yes, that is it. That is it. I don't.
That's the artist's name.
No. That's the name of the song. Tennessee Whiskey. Oh, my phone's dead. But the guy who sings that, I think his name starts with is Alan? I'm not too sure. But that was the guy. He came out. The one who recently did a remake of a song. I can't remember his name either. But those are like, when it comes to country, I at least can recognize two artists. Do I know their work? Do I know their discography? No, unfortunately. Can I say that they've really made a name for themselves in my ears? No, unfortunately. But equally, can I say that for Canadians? Do I have and can I hear of any sounds of any country Canadians that are like popular? I was listening to a few Christian
I don't even think
gospel songs, Canadian gospel, and honestly, they're bops. They are bops. Don't get me twisted. Like, what?
Okay.
There's this one guy. He is making numbers. I couldn't believe that he was making the numbers that he was making until I actually saw the YouTube channel. And I mean, like, one after the other, they were here. Like, he's making some 14 million bops. Like, that is what he's getting in his views. So I'm like, okay, it seems like Canadian gospel will be doing this thing.
Right.
It's doing it. Like,
I just weird. It should be just gospel music. I know it's like American gospel. Like they don't call it. You see how they call it like Canadian gospel. Even like back home, they don't call it Caribbean gospel. It's just gospel.
It's just gospel, yeah. But it's based on proximity, so it's Canadian. What was producing and like created here, and for a song to be for a song to be considered Canadian, it has to have been produced here, made here. Everyone who's on a track must be Canadian. And I don't even remember if there was a percentage, but I think it was very high. In order for it to be considered Canadian, majority of everything and effort and the actual work itself, hours-wise, had to be produced in Canada for it to be considered a Canadian nomination.
To get the JUNO.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was like, what? Anything that was outside of that was considered international, regardless of if the person was from here. And I was like, so all this time, Drake probably was not able to qualify for a lot of the nominations.
Right.
Because maybe it was produced somewhere else, or like it was released not in Canada first, or even though the actual artist themselves is Canadian. It's wild.
That's
It's not just you living here and having citizenship makes it enough to be nominated.
Not to them, no. Not to them. Yeah.
They said it has to be through our waves.
All these parameters, like
waves. Otherwise, we could care less. It's like, what? That's crazy. And maybe is that the reason?
Oh, why like
Too many parameters?
Like why those three genres got pushed out, and then obviously they're gonna because the what's it called, the roar on social media, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm definitely always here for the Junos and promoting Junos and all these things. I know that Junos 2025 is supposed to be in Vancouver. I love to see Canadian music being promoted, but I do think that there is a need to have more in touch things happening.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, once upon a time, we had such a fruitful music industry.
Like we just said like 10 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah, like much music existed. People used to line up the block just to go and get a free concert from an artist who's coming in. Like, what? Like, how many little mini shows? I remember one time they did like a flash mini concert. You just had to click the link, put your information in, and then you got the destination of where this pop-up concert was going to be.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, that was so great. Like, I loved those days. Like, what happened to them? Maybe artists may not be doing it for free anymore. I hear you. However, for the people who are a little bit more local, who don't have like as big notoriety,
that's a good way to like.
That's a great way to market. The other part too, I can't lie. I was listening to this artist, and she is underground, but she's still in training. And she doesn't expect to have herself released in a while. But she had said that a lot of the musicians now don't actually understand music fundamentals, especially in a way to market it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she's like, some people don't know how to rise. Like, they don't know how to have that acceleration and then have that moment where it's like, have the people in their moments. Like, right. And then come back down on the come down and like actually vibe it out.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
the music seems just very like, okay, this is fast, catchy, let's go, okay, and then done. And even the lyrics or the way that the stanzas are arranged, they're not actually like, there's not really much flow. So she was really breaking it down in that interview. I loved it. I wish I actually had like paid more attention to it. It just was on my feed.
It was on your...
Yeah. Hopefully I sent it to somebody. But sometimes, you know, it's like, this is some good, hard gems. And it's like, dang, like, I don't even know.
Nah, that's why I find myself like, anytime I come across like any type of video, like I just straight up like
save it.
No, I bookmark it first. Bookmark, boom, right away.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
But
yes.
To wrap up, plugs.
You can definitely find me on Instagram at TheNerdZ, TheNerdZZZ, and you can find my photography page at ZZ.StudioTO.
Del Niger here, DELNIJIRO, Twitter, Instagram, on Splash. And that is it for now. Shout out to James, our co-host. You can follow him on J Hunterville at Instagram. And you can follow his Twitch channel, Lou Pistols. LUPISTOLS. Holy crap. I think I still spell it. Wait. No, Lou
Pistol.
Tolls, yeah.
Yeah.
Lou Pistols at Twitch TV. If you have any questions, concerns, complaints, send it to askthevent@gmail.com. It's not Jamal, it's Gmail. The Theventpod and everything now. Yeah. Yep. IG. I was about to say IG and Instagram, but IG's Instagram, duh. IG, Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah, Spotify.
Acast.
Yeah.
iTunes.
Are we on SoundCloud? No.
our older vintage stuff is on SoundCloud.
Okay.
And yes, the Theventpod still works there too. Yeah.
I mean, the vault's still there.
The vault's still there, so
Yeah.
definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is it for now. Just to wrap that, make sure you guys, gals, and GNCs are safe out there in these Toronto streets.
Right? Because, you know, we're getting lit out here. Woo!
In a
Lit innocent parties. Parties, guys. Parties.
and
Safe parties.
safe parties.
Very safe.
Jeez.
Consensual.
Consensual parties. Yes. Jeez, not the I take this what I think is water, and then I wake up in a hospital. I'm like, how that happened? Right. But be safe out there. This is the Theventpod, and we're out. Peace.
Wash your hands.
Okay. Nah, I did one of those. I blinked my eye and went, oh, you know, yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
Time is now.
Like one of those, like.
I feel it in my body too.